I've been reviewing the footage and I really just don't get it. I'm gonna try this for 30 minutes. And if it doesn't work, and if I can't beat this guy within that 30 minutes, I'm just gonna change the mod to freaking change the bosses. And if Koga is just stuck like this and there's no way to turn that off, then I guess I'm going back to hibernating on this game again.
Come back during this dummy fight.
Because I want to do some writing.
Also, Brian,
but if I get to beat, then I play for 2 hours.
You definitely did not.
I won't do any writing,
Alright, we'll
but
make the deal.
2 hours.
Hey, look, a knife. Oh no, I didn't dodge it.
You didn't even try. You didn't even but you didn't even tap your keyboard.
My reaction speed is the best.
How did we get this far? Oh, and he gets rained on.
No, that isn't rain.
It's like rain to me.
Well, it's actually now someone's stairs.
What?
Brian, you played this how many times did you just realize that?
No way!
Also, another time
okay,
we're about to start, Brian, I'm going to need you to stand up for me still, and I'm just going to slowly go up here, use it multiple times because I don't know the exact place.
the animations are
okay.
still a
There we
little
go, I got it, let's
wonky.
go! I'm pretty sure that
I don't know what could suddenly be causing that.
You know, I gotta do it for first.
There was some ghost in the sewers, and he hated himself.
I disabled logical braids
About naps,
because I thought that was the issue.
Know, the grandchildren must know the legendary tale of naps.
Listen, he hated himself, but he still did good. That's what you gotta do, even if you hate yourself. You gotta do good, kid.
Well, I feel some pride in us damages, so I think that'd be a pretty cool superpower. You could just have acid tears.
Wouldn't that hurt you?
I mean, not if you're a ghost.
Oh, that's true. You're already done. Yeah.
Oh yeah, another part where unfortunately the glitch to skip this fight or like some of this dialogue or it just makes it a bit faster. Whatever. The thing that you can do during this part doesn't work again with 2-player. At least I'm like 30%.
The only real thing I can really think of doing
Brian's gonna tell his grandkids that he hates this kid. He's the mean guy. They're like,
is
Grandpa,
to just approach him.
see what you're talking about. You're talking to a wall right now.
Hey, I'll show you, kids.
For all the kids.
I'm like, wow, that is an ugly kid.
Oh, you know what you can do? You can skip the game, except you actually can. Another part where Brian's gonna keep moving. Brian, you're really losing me a lot of time with this speedrun.
Literally, there's nothing I can do.
And then we're also not gonna save your life, because that seems like a nightmare. But by the way, it's finally time to show you just what the punch card can do. This is the part where the
shit.
So to start out, we see the fish. She took her mask off. She's looking pretty good. And I'm going to go back and actually save you right
Okay, here we go.
This is a very specific moment. So first of all, I'm going to use the punch card to give herself attack. So she's not able to hit us the first time. I'm just going to slowly go through. Come on. Let me get it. Come on, fish. There we go. Okay. So I can go to the next room, and now we have plenty of more time for me to just slowly inch my way up. It's kind of taking me a couple tries. But anyways, what I can do is use the punch card there. We messed it up runs. Alright, a nice thing is I have Brian to help me if I do mess this up. Because it's kind of embarrassing secret, right? But if I do a run, teleport halfway through that room, so we're able to skip one of the undead fights. Which I'm really happy that even though it wasn't, first try, at least I didn't completely fail and just make it fights fun died, because that would have been even worse. But yeah, at this point, we gotta fight the fish. And she's nice enough to separate the attacks between us.
Fucking hell.
A little bit crazy.
Yeah, Brian still isn't the greatest at this fight, and I also make it worse for him by making us challenge every time, because that's gonna make her attacks go faster. And maybe not the best for someone who hasn't put in as many hours of Undertale as I have, but you gotta do it,
Yes, you gotta sacrifice me. So noble.
Alright, I'm not sacrificing you, I'm sacrificing insanity, which is kind of the entire purpose of my channel. Which also, wait, you're right! Brian!
Just reverse that. All I do is mercy.
So you're supposed to flee there, but Brian always makes that mistake. At least I can flee after that. You know, just a little bit of a time loss is fine.
The only time I made that mistake. I think I made it 1 note.
Alright, so let's just go ahead and let's just go challenge some more. Here's also where this fight is going to be difficult. So I just got to go through get all of these red things. Not even the hard parts. You got the blue ones. Come on, man.
Okay. Blue's way harder in this scenario.
I don't know. All I know is that you only have 5 HP and you can stay alive. Well, the stab of the guy.
Well,
oh, Brian!
shit.
Oh my
there
god.
you go. So, I hope you're happy.
That was terrifying. Once you died, it all went to red. Anyways, shout out to Sans for saving us. And just like I said, we only had to fight her 2 times, when normally you would have to fight her 3 or 4. Oh yeah, also she's gonna ask for water. She's like, oh, this armor's really heavy. We don't care. That seems like a you problem.
It really is. I mean, we didn't decide to put the armor on.
Yeah, that's why we're staying just like only with a bandit god. But now I'm also doing another cool trick where I go right up here, press the punch card at the same time as pressing enter, and that's going to have this text show up. Ryan and I are both going to move, and as soon as he catches back up with me, we'll start moving and just completely shift outfits. Yeah, we do not talk to Alphys at all, which is... Sorry about that, Alphys.
It's a necessary sacrifice not to be compared.
It is what it is, that happens. Oh yeah, also this time we're gonna kill the Vulcan, so, you know, sorry about that. But we need that XP because that's going to help us with our final battle, where of course, we're gonna have to take out the final boss. But now, like I said, the punch card is about to make this. Like right here, I can use the punch card right before I get onto this thing, then I hold down and to the left. It gets me out of the map, and we're also about to see a plane right here. Shout out to some Dairy plane. Alright, and Brad, you gotta time this, alright? Here we go. Oh,
Great.
hold on,
Here we go.
Brad, go! Let's go, beautiful.
Amazing timing. Could have done it better.
Yeah, look at all the time saves that happen to people allowed.
You don't understand, I have to stand by the door, and then move!
Grandpa, what are you talking? Please go back on your bed, Grandpa.
Kids don't get it. You don't get it at all.
Oh yeah, by the way, we went down to 1 HP, so...
Yeah, I guess you just need to be able to, but like he always goes so far away.
And now I have to do another punch card glitch, where I go right up here, and I'm going to press right, dig into my menu, and wait, and I have time to go with it going upwards. Then if I hold up, just give me the punch card, just skip all the puzzles that we normally have to do. It's beautiful. Oh yeah, also here's another part where there is usually a skip that we can do to completely skip the entire section. But unfortunately, I did try it once, and it completely broke my game. So yeah, we're just gonna have to do the show like normal. And that means we're about to get Sod! So, you know...
Watch out.
Oh, never mind. Shout out to Alphys in our lives.
Move like 2 feet. Not even. It's like, I can't stop. It wasn't close.
But now we get this section where we gotta hope that Brian is able to play well.
This is my least favorite part of the game. I think I can say that.
This part is awesome. You get to go on a jetpack. It's like Jetpack Joyride. Let's play that.
Yeah, Jetpack Joyride if it was impossible.
And also not like Jetpack Joyride at all, to be completely honest. But anyways, we have to dodge all of these different condiments. It's really scary. I mean, he's throwing eggs, flour.
Eggs.
I think they are. Brian, stop getting hit!
Can't. I literally can't stop. I'm trying to follow you and I just can't do it.
Alright, here, I'll tell you my position. You're gonna go right, left, left, left.
What
To
the
order,
fuck?
8, 2, 7, half turn, 97.
What are you saying?
4.
There's only 2 dimensions!
Right, alright.
Am I supposed to do there?
I'm not thinking in 3-dimensional space.
Definitely not eggs. You can't tell me those are
I
eggs.
think those are eggs.
They're squares! Not eggs.
Oh, hey, we made it. Yeah, also this minigame is not hard at all, so I don't think you can lose it. But yeah, we made it to the end, and now we just get to fly down with our jetpacks, talk to Alphys again. Alphys, please stop calling us. Now I want to talk to you.
That would be a speedrun strategy. Just break your phone.
You know, and also we kind of messed up. How are we supposed to call Sans for some nice puns if we don't have our phone?
Does Sans ever actually call us?
If you have a specific RT route, you can go call you. Great call on you.
No way. Oh, there he is!
Shout out. Also, did you see that Vulcan? Remember when we killed the Vulcan?
Nice. I'm gonna bring it up. Also, we're at 1 health. That's a little bit alarming.
Nah, not really. because what we're gonna do is also go ahead and get this stain apron, which we'll come in later. Oh yeah, and also we just need to stain apron in a second. But yeah, I'm gonna do this puzzle by myself because I don't trust Brian.
At this point, I'm used to not being used.
Alright, Brian, you're used to bloody. Like right here, where we're gonna do this cool thing where Brian hits the button for these. Look at that strategy. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, let's save like what, 10 seconds?
I mean technically you can do it just with the punch cards, so it doesn't really save any time.
How would you say that?
Alright, time for another skip. Another skip. Oh, Brian, you almost just caused those guys to show up. Okay, I'm gonna punch card my way over here so we can skip the 2 guards. The guards are awesome. I love the guards. But unfortunately, we're just gonna completely skip their fight. Brian's gonna get taken back with them though. You're drying away. I just left them.
You roughed me up and then just let me go.
And now we have the MTTs thing, which I think this is another part which we can't actually skip, and that's why I didn't do it.
We'll skip that.
Alright, using the bow allows me to bypass needing to even get close.
Well, I'm gonna go for all the other stuff. Just the dog bomb. He's just kind of chilling there. And Brian's gonna line himself up in a very specific place. So lately, extremely agile glass of water is gonna go right to it. But for now, I'm just gonna go around. We're going for this buck next. Beautiful hit by me, if I do say so myself. And then I get to use the bomb too.
Oh, actually no boom.
Why no boom?
The bomb, so you defused it. So there's no boom.
You know, you're a pretty smart one, Brian. You're a pretty smart one.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, like play basketball.
Yeah,
boom.
You know, I never really noticed, but it's kind of looking like a dribbling ball. Do you think that's what they were going for that?
No, that's too far-fetched.
Alright, yeah, you're right. Anyways, deactivating all the bombs, the Mettaton is like, haha, I lied. I'm not actually gonna let you go. But then Alphys is like, oh, but you should. And then Mettaton's like, alright, fine. And that's the one.
It's just that simple.
Yeah, it's just that simple. It's gonna be very easy to explain to your grandchildren.
And then they just start talking. Everything was okay.
Not sure what this said, but don't worry about it, kids.
The whole game, they just mumbling and mumbling. I didn't get a word in. I didn't understand a single word they were saying.
Grandpa, why are you telling us this story? You've been mumbling this entire time.
But kids such as me, don't be rude to your elders. I literally ran through this entire game.
But now, speaking of running through the entire game, we're not going to be running because we're hopping. So that wasn't really a good joke. I don't know. Anyways, I'm using the punch card right here, and I messed that up. I was holding up. Brian, go back. Brian, you gotta go back. Okay, thank you.
I wasn't ready. I'm not ready for you to mess up.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to hold up there. I'm supposed to hold up later. But basically, what I want to do is use another.
Oh shit! Holy shit! It one shot.
By the way, if you mess up getting the punch card away, it just won't work. But I got it twice right there. We can go straight over to the door, and now it's time for the Muffet fight. But let's be honest, did you really think we were actually gonna fight Muffet? Because no, we're doing the same old thing where we just punch card and just completely ignore Muffet. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry if you're a big Muffet fan.
Muffet does have one of the greatest songs in the game, but we're just gonna skip past it. It's maybe the greatest song in the game. We're also gonna skip another one, because normally there's a Mettaton play right here, but I'm gonna use the punch card so I can skip, and then, oh, I almost messed that up. That was almost really embarrassing, but there we go. So yeah, that just skipped like, I think around 5 minutes of the game, maybe less, you know, if you get the spider donut from Muffet, but a good amount of game to skip. And after this, what we're gonna do is come up to this like alien section. I don't know that, those probably aren't aliens. We have to go up there and then come back down. Because the thing about the skips we just did is they actually kind of broke our game. It made it so that we can't open our menus. So to be able to open our menu again, we have to go all the way back to level 1, and we have to complete the Hotland. And by doing that, it's going to allow us to use the menus again. So we're kind of just walking by. We see our boy. He's kind of just chilling. Right? Remember, right, there we go.
How was I supposed to know?
Supposed to remember, Brian.
I can't remember. It's too much.
Right there, we were holding opposite directions, so just going through the same thing over again.
There has been a lot of times where it's great, but we just never got out of it.
Who wouldn't want to spend an infinite week with this guy? Are you gonna say thank you?
No, that seems a little bit tongue-in-cheek to me.
Oh, nice one. Just hit him.
Alright, I'm just gonna do some more
nice.
punch cards without you know? Maybe I was considering maybe letting you have one of these, but no, I'm gonna take them all.
Oh, stop it. You would not trust me about punch cards.
Yeah, probably not, to be honest. Anyways, I'm gonna keep this in right here. We're gonna skip past these guys, which is the normal fight you have to do. We'll go right here as well, which, oh no, Brian, you're supposed to move. I forgot about that. And then, Brian, you're supposed to move on the board. I feel like half of this commentary is Brian, you're supposed to move, and half of it is Brian, you're not supposed to move.
Yeah, and then I always do the opposite of whichever one you are about to tell me.
Oh, and here's another cool skip, which I actually don't know if you can do. I've never actually tried this one before, so I'm gonna try right here, see if you can touch card it, and, alright, I gotta try to skip. Okay, yeah, that one didn't work. Okay, I think that's because it's 2-player or I'm too back. One of those two. Well, luckily there's a backup skip you can do here, where Brian has to stop right there. I go forward a little bit with the punch card, and I think it's about right there. We get the reading code, and we don't have to worry about all these lasers that will go to turn back on.
Ice Cube.
Yeah, shout out to the Ice Cube that's been going through the entire map. Shout out to this puzzle, which before I'm actually going to put on the burn pan, as well as the Stay Apron. Those are going to be useful for the final fight. And then after this, I just have to do one event, which I wrote down. Wow. And then Brian will just go to the right. Look at that time. By the way, writing that down is cheating.
I don't see how you're supposed to do this without motion
Brian was
controls.
Come down on me with the wall. It was going to be bad.
Apart from just get lucky and
Yeah,
guess
no, you were gonna
which
actually
way
see me.
Koga
I
will
just
throw the
messed up
ball.
and didn't flee.
Oh, so it isn't as easy as it looks.
You know, Brian,
And look at me, coming to the rescue.
you know, Brian, I really don't need this attitude, you know? Really hurt my feelings.
Maybe just a little bit.
But I am going to save here because here's another skip where we're going to skip Metatron. Very specific. I have to go each my way up here. And there we go. See you later, Metatron. Good to know ya.
Oh yes, there you are. Oh, there you go.
Also, shout out to Alphys for coming back and trying to talk to us. And Alphys is just going to keep trying to talk to us over and over again. But finally, we get to leave. Oh yeah, Alphys also lets us know, oh yeah, you're going to have to kill Asgore if you want to make it home. Like, we don't really care. We have no emotional connection with you. We've been skipping through this entire game.
Yeah, all we know is just somebody just like calling us for no reason.
The love that I used to know.
Did we ever know her though?
I mean, I used to know her when I played this bad one.
What was that like?
Pretty awesome. Anyways, time for the most boring section of the game. We're gonna just speed through this. I'll show you all the important parts, but we're gonna edit out most of this because it's the backstory.
Let's go, it's free time.
Alright, here's one spot where we're gonna do something special. Brian's gonna wait right there, and I'm gonna keep walking forward. Now in this part, if you've never played the game before, basically Monty's telling you this whole backstory about a bunch of stuff that happened. We don't really care about it. So we're just gonna go through right away. Brian can then stay by the doorway so we skip one of those encounters and save a little time. That's pretty much the only skip we're able to do this entire time though. So yeah, we'll see when this is done. Alright, finally after like 4.5 minutes we'll talk. It's time to do another skip. This time it stands. So what I'm doing is lock myself out of these two pillars, very carefully use the punch card, try not to mess this up, and I messed it up. Alright, this time for sure. I don't even know how I messed it up that time, but I'm just gonna slowly go through the punch card and move. I'm gonna move it away, and now we can move completely through sands. This guy's just like, hey, where'd you go? And I'm just like, I don't talk to strangers. Yeah, so that's gonna be the end of that fight, and now it is finally time for Asgore. And for this, we can also skip him. So what I'm gonna do is mess it up. Again, thankfully these are really quick resets, but as I was saying, what I'm going to do is slowly go through so I don't mess this up, because I don't want to listen to Asgore talk. I'm just going to completely walk around and feel like it is. But then he is going to talk to us, tell us all about his visits to the dentist, you know, things like that. And it's finally time to go.
We didn't get the murder first one, so we're finally making up for it.
Kids, Uncle Ben didn't allow me to kill Toriel.
I don't understand. It would have been a huge time waste, but we needed it.
Come on, come on, come on.
We wanted to do it.
He gave me the wrong pie. I told him I didn't like cinnamon.
Oh, no.
Fuck you!
Oh,
Okay.
Ah!
oh, make you so old you forgot what type of pie you eat.
Oh my god. I don't remember nothing. It's so Oriole. I hate him.
It was nice to meet you. It was not nice to meet you. I didn't even listen to your dialogue. I have no connection with you, man. Anyways, now it is time for the hardest fight in the game, or at least in the speedrun. I guess not in the game at all. But what we want to do right away is use the pie that we picked up at the come up. There you go.
Oh, I couldn't tell where it was.
So we want to pick up the pie, which is going to lower Asgore's defense and raise our offense. Or, wait, no. It's going to lower his defense and lower his offense. Yeah, that's what I mean. And one thing, like I was saying, this is the hardest fight in this speedrun, but we are considering doing one with Genocide. Either 2-player or maybe 4-player if the mod can work that way. So if you do want to see the Genocide speedrun, it will actually break my heart because I've never done a Genocide playthrough. So we need, like, you know, what do you say, Ryan? Like 100,000 likes, maybe?
Yeah, I just want to do it. I don't. Okay. I mean, yeah. Let's say 100,000. But
Yeah, it's a pretty fitting ending for this guy. You're not considering during the entire fight. It's usually his own attacks that keep hurting him.
Cool. Anyway, about the fight we're doing. Pretty much the only thing you worry about, Brian, you just died. But anyways,
what was it supposed to do?
The only thing we're going for here is quads. Now what a quad is when you hit the middle.
Right, I'm gonna make a
So
save.
you see every time we hit the middle, it gives us a little like orange flash. If you hit it 4 times in a row, it like doubles your damage or something. It does a lot more damage, but it's also really hard to do.
Question is, will we do it even a single time here?
I'm usually able to hit at least like 1 or 2. But I'm not sure anymore.
Alright, I'm gonna go see what I can do with the
And I
mods
think it's
first.
also a little bit harder for Brian too, because there's a little bit of delay since he's using the internet and all that, so,
Yeah.
you know, we're trying our best. Oh my, I almost got that one, you're kidding me.
Alright, now you can't die, because I'm about to just be dead this whole game.
Now you're back, you got 17, you have more HP than I do.
For 1 second, and there I go.
He kept killing me. I hate this Asgore guy.
I don't understand, you just target me, and I hated it! I hated it so much!
Oh my, we both have 1 HP. Okay, the Stained Apron just came in clutch. I don't know what that effect
Alright,
was,
so,
but the Stained Apron
I need to go
came
through
in
my
clutch.
mods
Oh
and
my
the
gosh,
ordering and
we have
see
barely
what
any
could
HP.
possibly
Ryan, we
be.
cannot mess this up.
We're not going to.
Oh, hit the quad! Let's go! Alright, we got a single quad. I'm proud of us.
Alright, all you now.
A nice thing about this fight that you might not know is, if you have any more than 1 HP, Asgore can't kill you with a single attack. So like, if any of these attacks hit me, even though they would normally do more than 2 HP, they won't actually kill me. So that's why the Stained Apron is so nice, because it will regen your HP every once in a while. But yeah, at this point, I'm just fighting for my life. Brian has 1 HP now. Brian, please, I need you to hit those.
I got this, I'm not gonna...
Brian, you are making this so stressful for me. Please, Asgore, just die. You know you want to. And oh my god, I have 1 HP. Please, Brian, hit this, hit this.
What do you want me to do? I'm trying my best, man.
We got this, we got this. A single last hit should do it. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. That wasn't very much damage, but because he was so low, it's going to finish him off. And now you get the choice. You can either spare the goat or you can kill him. And, you know, we're trying to go fast, so I think you know what we're gonna do. Goodbye,
Yes.
Goat Dad.
A little bit of genocide's coming out in you.
I wouldn't really call a single kill. Well, I guess that we did 2 kills in this entire run. But now, it might be time for 3.
Let me
because,
reinstall Logical
Flowey's
Brain
back.
since that doesn't
Finally
seem to be
get
the
it
issue.
in this world. It's kill or be killed. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Hey, why'd you crash my game? Yeah, we're gonna reopen the game right away, and there's definitely nothing wrong with this at all.
Dude, I think your game's glitched a little bit.
Yeah, we'll just keep playing. Oh yeah, I forgot we named ourselves Flowey in this one.
Oh,
And yeah, here we go. The end. Also, he erased by 5. That was just. Why would you do that?
it was Flowey?
Yeah, it's finally time. Flowey the flower is now slightly bigger. Like, he's also vibrating very angrily. And this is really awkward. Can you stop? It's kind of making me feel uncomfortable.
Pretty buff. Looks like he's got a new routine or something.
Yeah, he's been working out these past 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Good for him, man. Too bad. See, that could have resulted after 1 hour. Can you imagine he gives like a week? He's also talking right now, but I don't really pay attention. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like, is he talking to us?
See, I've kind of just been ignoring him.
Yeah, I've been just noticing his gains. That's about it.
That's what I was gonna say. I appreciate the gains and all, but like the monologuing, I'm not really following.
You two really are okay, that was just me. I finally decided to read it. And he called us. What the heck?
I thought we were like sharing a gym routine. Oh my gosh.
He's so much more buff than I thought he was.
Swirl.
We need to hit the gym with this guy. Oh my gosh.
look at those gains, and he's so happy about it. Respect, bro.
Yeah, he's got that look of power in him now.
Do you see those forearms and those arms? Like, you see that definition?
Yeah, no, you gotta love it. You can definitely tell that this man has put a lot of work into his stuff, and you gotta salute him for that. Even though he's trying to attack us right now for some reason. But here's the strategy, alright? Brian's just gonna sit there and slowly die while I actually dodge things. Because Brian needs to hit the fight button every time it's going to appear. Or die trying. But this fight is actually really easy when you know what's happening. It's pretty much impossible to die unless you do just stand still.
I think it's a pretty tough one. Let's not...
I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, Brian, you could probably beat it first try, even without me, at this point. I really hope you would after all the times we've played through this game, I'll be honest.
What do you mean? You're saying this isn't our first time? We're not doing it straight through?
Oh yeah, I forgot. My bad. Brian, why'd you die?
You didn't want to help out?
I mean, Brian, the thing is, are you really going to make as good of games as Flowey if you're not able to do it on your own, you know?
Okay, maybe we did need to... Maybe he's dropping his workout routine and we just weren't paying attention.
Yeah, oh my god. That's why he got so angry at us. He was telling us. That was the text that we were going through and just ignoring. That's why he called us idiots.
Yeah, and that's why we're not dying. He's not trying to kill us, he's just trying to, like, get our attention.
Yeah, he's like, come on guys, please. Like, I'm still not reading anything that's showing up on the screen. Maybe eventually.
Yeah, maybe he starts, like, getting, like... If he wants to send us a file of the routine, I might take a look, but, like, right now, he's a little busy with some other stuff, you know?
Yeah, just hanging out with boys, our hearts colliding. Oh, time for the star ballerina one.
Ow.
Just, ow. Ow. You see, kids, they stepped on me multiple times.
You don't understand, we were fighting this flower, and then all of a sudden, his shoes came out. Why does the flower have shoes for? He ain't got no feet.
There was also a part of the fight where he started throwing dirty bandages at us.
Oh man, that was disgusting. You could feel them all over your body. They were icky. Let me tell you, they were so icky.
Is that part of his power? Is that why he made so much progress, the dirty bandages? I hope not.
Gosh.
I really hope not, Brian. I don't know if I can follow his routine.
You have to commit. You have to do ballet and eat dirty bandages if you want to get buff.
I mean, I'll do the ballet. I'm just not going to eat the dirty bandages.
No, you have to do both.
All I really have are
Oh. Also, is it going
things
to be
that
my side?
change.
Oh, it never goes to Brian.
It hates me.
The only things I really added are
Yeah, it can show up on the right or the left side. It pretty much never shows up on the right. At least when I'm playing with Brian.
It literally has never shown up on the right.
Wait, Brian. Oh no, I just came to a terrifying conclusion. What if part of his workout routine is hating on Brian? So you gotta hate on yourself to become swole.
Done.
Oh, wow, that was a really fast decision.
Look where I'm at right now. I'm literally like burning myself in a pan.
Yeah, or maybe this is his workout routine that he's giving to us right now. Because, you know, they say no pain, no gain. And then he gives us some, like, he's giving us some pre-workout right now. It's like,
oh, okay.
have this caffeine, get back up to form, we're going for another set.
Okay. It all makes sense now. This is his routine.
How did he come up with this?
This is wild. I mean, if you're gonna be looking like that, you gotta be doing some crazy stuff at the gym, let me tell you.
That's true, that's true. Brad, I've noticed that you were very stationary this entire fight.
There's literally nowhere I can go that's gonna change it.
Oh, but here's a part where you can do something, Brian. You just have to put yourself in front of the gun directly. Go,
Yeah,
Brian, yes!
Not my favorite part of the routine.
But now you get a bunch of love. Oh, also, right here is going to be another important part. As soon as these souls start showing up, I'm going to quit out of the game and go back into it. And that's because normally we would have to go through this whole thing where all the human souls are like, oh, take our dirty bandages and stuff. But we don't really care about that. We're just going to skip right past that and go to the next fight part. Oh, no! Oh, I just got a dirty bandage on my face, Brian. Oh.
Ew, it's so sticky still. How?
At least some of these things aren't that bad. So yeah,
So
as
the
you
new
can
mods
see,
I
there's
installed,
gonna be a
well,
bunch of
obviously
health
there's
that
the title
comes right
screen,
from the sky.
and there's
You know,
the armor
sometimes they're like a
icons.
music note.
But I also
That's pretty cool.
I also installed some new
Literal hope.
In my opinion, it's like,
costumes,
you know, a piece of paper
like a
that
magical
just,
girl
says hope
costume.
on it. It's like saying hope, yes or no.
It's like
but that's about it. I installed like two.
Hope. Oh my gosh, we are
The
good.
magical
Blow
girl
for
and then
blow
something
now.
else.
Yeah, Brian also
And,
gets
yeah,
to have his
logical
fun time of
grades.
sitting there. And I actually don't know if you can die in this part, legitimately.
I
Because
put
all
them
this stuff
above,
just
but
starts raining
maybe I
down.
should try
you
putting
dodge
them
all the
below.
hope and dirty bandages by yourself. I mean, I don't know if this is possible to die at.
The
Oh, hey,
girly
look, it comes
animation
up.
pack and stuff.
You just ate somebody's thumb. How do you feel?
Well, no, I'm picturing it's more like you're at the gym and then you see one of your gym bros and you're like, hey, yo, thumbs up. And he looks at you with a scowl and he's like, I hate that guy.
I'm
But then he
remerging
gives you, like,
stuff
very
just to
tentative
see
thumbs up where
if
he's like,
that
I
can
don't
do
really want
anything
to,
for
you
me.
know, he still will. And it gives you a little bit of energy, you know? Oh yeah, we also killed him. So,
Nice. So we won. Okay, well...
yeah, that was, oh no, he troll-faced us! Oh, he called us idiots again too.
Oh my gosh.
Why
man.
does he keep calling us idiots? He said your gains are not good enough yet.
Just when we thought we were done at the gym, after grueling 1 hour sesh, he's pulling us back in. This guy's an animal.
At least we now get to have fun with just colliding with all these beans over and over again.
The friendship pellets. They taste so yummy.
Called for help, but nobody came. Nobody wanted to spot me. Oh, we got through. Oh yeah, also this is my favorite part of the game. You get to get chewed by him. Right, get in his mouth.
I'm trying. It's difficult to time it right.
There we go.
Okay,
Now
okay,
we're
okay.
open his mouth, take it out, get it chewed on. And then all the souls have to ruin it, of course.
Yeah, we're having a good time. Oh, it's a rave!
It's a rave! Boo, 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 boo. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Are you dancing in your chair right now, Brian?
At the end of it all, we had a rave of a flower, and it was awesome.
And then we killed the flower.
What?
Yeah, we have to add to our kill count, right? You know, when we were talking about this genocide thing, I finally decided to do it. And as soon as he's going to talk, I'm going to quit out of the game and then go back into it again. Yeah, normally he's going to go on this whole long rant. I don't really care. We're going to go straight back over here and end off time as soon as we see the Undertale Together title screen. And there we go. 1:12:34.
Boom, baby. That's how you do it. That's gotta be, what, the best time ever?
Yeah, the best time ever. And that's going to put us at 30th place on the Undertale leaderboard. Well, if this was a one-player speedrun, obviously it was 2 players.
Which I think makes it actually more impressive.
Yeah, this is technically a world record. Let's go!
Nobody ever done that.
Alright, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.
Greetings, I'm Shat, and I want to talk a little bit about the differences between the machete and the falchion. And this isn't a falchion. According to the hilt, it's actually a cutlass. But if you were to change the hilt on this and give it a cross guard, a nice, round pummel, perfect example of a falchion. So that this is kind of my falchion stand-in. But what's interesting about these things I've been considering about the differences is that I have an opportunity to make a very authentic falchion, and I'll talk a little bit about that in its own dedicated video. And so there's a bit of misunderstanding I'm finding between falchions and machetes, because there's actually a lot of similarities. The
Let's
first
see the
similarity
animations
people
for all
will
the
find when they
weapons.
look at a stereotypical machete is the profile. Okay, looking at the profile here, there are reasons why this machete is not a falchion, but there are some really important similarities. The blade profile being one of them, okay? See how it swells at the tip, all right? Many stereotypical falchions have that, not all of them, okay? In actual fact, the falchion is a very broad category. People usually think of the
it's
Conyers
literally
falchion,
just the sword
and
that
I'll
has a
bring up an
problem.
image here of what the Conyers falchion kind of looks like.
Every other animation
That's
works
the more
just
stereotypical
fine.
type of falchion, and there are a lot of similarities to the blade profile I have of this machete to the most iconic stereotypical falchion. But falchion blade types, there's a lot. In fact, look at the Elmsley typology, and if you have a look, you'll see a whole
Why?
range of different falchion blade profiles. For instance, this blade profile on this Kriegsmesser, if you change the hilt construction from that being like a knife construction to a sword construction, you would now have a two-handed falchion. Very broad categories, as I mentioned. But when we look at the iconic type of falchions, all right, with the type of blade profile where it swells towards the tip, there are some very important elements that are often missed in the falchions that you can buy online. I'm still looking for a really good, affordable falchion model that is historically accurate, and I haven't found one yet. This little cutlass here, it has a great falchion blade, but you'll also notice it doesn't necessarily have that really strong swelling at the tip that you see on many iconic falchions, the more stereotypical types of falchions. So it's another good example or representation of different falchion style blades.
Actually, let me try reinstalling,
which makes this what you would
Girly
consider a
Animation
sword
Pack.
blade, and this blade being a machete blade is in a specific type of machine. Look, I haven't even taken the thing. It's the specific type of machining and engineering that goes into sword blades. So what we're talking about is distal taper. And so distal taper is when it tapers, gets thinner towards the edge on this plane. But not only that, it's how the bevels are put on it. Now, what's interesting is that I am confident enough to say that I could bet there would be cheap blades historically that were pretty flat like this, and just as a really basic single
I did
edge bevel
uninstall a bunch of
ground
mods
onto
rather
it,
than just
like
disable
that.
them.
It would be
I don't
considered
really
poorly
think that
done
does anything.
because more, I
The
guess,
only difference between disabled and uninstalled is the
sword blades, in actual
disabled
fact,
is
the more
still in the
standard types of sword
BCML
blades
thing.
have bevels that are
Right.
far more sophisticated. So if you see here, there is actually a consistent bevel all the way from the fuller down to the edge, but that's not the only bevel it has. It doesn't go all the way down into a straight line. There is a micro bevel, so it comes down really, really thin consistently, and then there is a small micro bevel at the very end. Otherwise, the edge would just be way, way, way too thin if there was a consistent bevel that came down at a very consistent gradual rate to the edge from the fuller line. But by having a reduction from the fuller line down to the edge, you take off unneeded material, making the blade lighter and more maneuverable as a result. And so this type of shaping from the way that the edges are handled, the bevels, and the distal taper is what you want to find on sword blades. This is why when you look at this, you would say, that's a sword blade, and this is a machete blade. So there are distinct differences, even though I think there is the exception, as I mentioned, that you probably could find cheaply made sword blades that were just like this, historically. The interesting thing that I find about a lot of these machete blades, this is my favorite at the moment, it's the Cold Steel kind of D-guard, machete. But what I'm saying, the interesting thing is how thin the blades are on these machetes, because most falchions that you buy are way too thick. It's not to say you can't get thicker falchion blades. Like, remember how I said this blade could be a falchion blade if the handle was different? Very thick spine, but what you see here, see how gradual the beveling is from the fuller, and there is a very distinct distal taper on this. So this is actually a very beautifully engineered sword blade that we have on this Kriegsmesser. Cold Steel Kriegsmesser, dedicated review if you're interested. So even though you can get falchion blades that are thicker, one of the iconic elements of the stereotypical types of falchions, we're looking at the Conyers falchion and types around that, is how thin the blades are. Blade types of this that we're seeing here, if they're going to be historically accurate, they are supposed to have very thin blades. So thin, in fact, James Elmsley, he's the expert in this, right? I got to have a back and forth with him, and he gave me some really intriguing information. One of the things that he even pointed out, so some of the surviving falchions that we have historically, right, were so thin that the rusting has actually made holes in the blade, okay? They're that thin, there are actually holes in the blade on the surviving examples. So these are meant to be razor blades, and it's a complete misconception to say that they're supposed to be heavy cutters. No, they're supposed to be like razor blade cutters, okay? They're great at cutting, they will slash up, and they get the advantage of, in the cut due to the blade profile, okay? But even though they're thin, by having the swell here, it does situate the main kind of driving power in the cut at the top end, which is why we see it on machetes as well. Machetes are there to just cut and hack. So it makes sense that they have similar blade profiles as we see on traditional falchions. The thing is, as I mentioned, I just find it so interesting, I have found more blade profiles that have the correct width on machetes than I have on falchions that I haven't purchased. I Hell's Handle. I went to some stores and everything, saw some falchions, picked up, are just way too thick. But yet, when I bought these machetes, I was like, huh. That's
Maybe I should
interesting. So
reinstall
much
the
so
unofficial
that,
legal patch as
with
well.
the correct type of grinding to just correct these edge bevels, right? Maybe even putting a fuller on it. This sounds gorgeous. Not only is actually really good spring steel, okay, this is actually a perfect blank for a very historically authentic falchion blade. Just needs a bit of extra work on it. And what really threw me, right, is when I picked up this one and I compared the weights between these two, and this one's lighter and more nimble. And then I looked at it, and oh my goodness, this one has a distal taper. I'm not kidding. It starts out as at 1 millimeter at the base, and it thins down up here to 0.5 millimeter. Just, I can tell by looking at it. The fact that this has a distal taper and is appropriately thin, even though the bevels are not perfect, and when I was almost going to say historically inaccurate. As I mentioned, I think you could find crappy bevels like this even on historical swords, right? But it's just not near the refinement that you would expect on really good swords, and even most swords, honestly. But the fact that it got these other two really important elements correct on this blade, which is the distal taper and the thickness of the sword, this is actually a more historically valid blade than a lot of the ones that you can buy online. And so you can actually get machetes that are more accurate falchions than you can even buy falchions online. Guys, if you know some great quality, affordable falchions that have the correct properties, which is, again, proper profiling on the bevels, distal taper, and correct thinness with good quality steel, I'd love to get one. I've already ordered one from Cult of Athena, and I have no idea if it's going to be correct or not, but it's actually quite short. And guess what? Since having filmed that video, the sword I mentioned I ordered has in fact arrived. The so-called falchion, and it is everything that I have talked about, to the point where I want to get someone's impression of this. So I'll bring Nate in just to see what he thinks about it.
I heard swords.
You did? So Nate.
Yes.
Oh, do you see this falchion that I
That looks pretty. That's patinaed. It's a little small on the thing, but that looks
Okay.
very nice.
It looks nice, doesn't it?
It does.
So I want to get your impressions for everyone.
Sure.
When you hold it. First, could you pick up this machete and get a
Absolutely.
feel of the weight?
Now, that's what I was about to say. Now, we're not talking modern representations of HMB. We're talking proper medieval history. So, weight comparison. Okay.
That feels like a sword, doesn't it?
That's a little misweighted, but the weight overall feels about right.
So, have a feel of this.
Okay. It's heavier than what it should be.
Way heavier.
It looks a lot prettier than it feels.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a lot prettier than it feels. I love the patina. I
Yeah.
gotta say, but is that actually? I think that's a fake patina.
It might be.
But
So, this is the thing. This is made out of decent steel.
Yeah.
Okay. And it has the correct profile. But
is it distal?
it barely has a distal taper.
Mhm.
We are talking about this is 2 mil at the base, and it's, by the look of it, 2 mil at the tip. Like, barely any, if not a distal taper at all. It has no large bevel.
No, I was just gonna say it looks like a machete because it's such a fine.
Exactly. This is a machete blade.
No, it's heavy for a machete blade.
And it would be heavy for a machete blade. Because what we see here is all the subtle, important elements to make this like a representative historical replica of a medieval falchion. It's not here,
No.
apart from the superficial appearance. And because what I was talking about, the most important part of falchion is that the blades are supposed to be really, really thin.
Really thin.
Because the way that the tip swells, at this weight, it becomes way too top heavy, okay? The falchion has this ingenious, and I mean ingenious design feature, okay? There is this interesting dichotomy when it comes to sword design about having a thin blade means that it can cut easier because it doesn't have to push apart as much material. But that also means if you're making it thinner, you're going to be reducing the weight because you need a certain amount of weight to actually get driving force through. And so the actual design philosophy of real falchions was that we want to make a very, very thin blade, but if it was the width of a regular sword, it would then be too light. So you know what they did to keep the weight at the standard level? They broadened the tip. Okay, and that was specifically to keep it in the standard weight range that you want in regular swords, but that only works if it's the right thinness.
Exactly. So that's kind of, if I can pick this one back
Yeah,
up.
please do.
But it's like they didn't quite know that it had to be thin. The plain, very thin bar of steel. But that's way too
The
thin.
pommel's tiny.
Yeah. But it is, like, it's a good-looking sword. It's just not a historically accurate
Exactly. When it comes to the historical accuracy, it's a piece of junk.
It's a pretty piece of junk.
It's a pretty piece of junk, but it's a piece of just trying to use this is not it is not.
Actually, I might have an
It's so top
idea
heavy, and the failing is
as
that
to what's
the most
happening.
identifiable feature of falchions. Yeah, it's got the broad thing, but so often people miss how thin they're supposed to be,
Yes.
and then they made it as robust as like a machete, to the point where now this is just completely unfunctional as a result.
It's kind of verging on HMB, which is historical medieval battles.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys there, they use the falchion, admittedly, in some of the falchion techniques, but they are just big, heavy cleavers that are blunt, and that's kind of where that one's starting to go. It's not a it's not a falchion.
Now, what's interesting, the HMB has some historical precedent in medieval tournament combat.
Yes.
Because they would all wear heavy armour, and so the way that you defeat heavy armour is with blunt force. But a regular sword doesn't have the mass to actually regularly do blunt force through, the armour, and so because a lot of it is just hitting on armour,
Yes.
right, they purposely have really overbuilt swords, which might actually be somewhat accurate to medieval tournament swords, but not medieval warfare or combat swords.
No, and one of the things of a really thin blade, which I'm sure people have already jumped in the comments for this one, is you can get it and lever it up inside
Oh,
plates.
yeah.
Now, with HMB, stabbing is actually not allowed because stabbing is the most dangerous thing you can do. But a really thin blade will then get up inside those really close, tight plates. So
Maybe it's the magical
not
girl
quite.
costume.
It's just interesting that this sword arrived with all
That's
the
the
criticisms
problem.
that I was already mentioning about most of the falchions that you buy online, where they haven't thought about true functionality. It's way too thick and therefore way too heavy, and it doesn't have the correct bevel profiling. So this is all flat, okay? When there should be some level of bevel tapering here to reduce weight. And then, if you had it thinner and you had the bevel running all along from the fuller, this blade would easily be half the weight.
easily,
Easily.
because you're actually taking off more than half.
Exactly. And so it would still look the same on profile, except perhaps maybe such a profound and prominent main bevel.
And you can see why, from a modern standpoint, like just getting a machine to jig that out is easy, but like it would go from, a bevel starting around about here to then coming up at a nice tight angle, which would need a custom jig if we were going to machine that. So
To get such specific edge profiling, you need to do it hand ground on a sander most of the time. And as a result, this is a perfect example of all the worst types of falchions you can buy online, because they all fall into this this thing. And it's just so interesting that this machete technically has a more historically authentic blade on it
than
this falchion. This falchion has a more machete-like blade than this machete. So
it's interesting because, like you said, that was the cheaper of one of the ones, and they've gone cheaper to be thin, and it's actually come up more historical. Not that that's what the manufacturers intended, but it's a beautiful flute for us.
I know. We're going to be having fun with this one. There's going to be a future project video coming up where we're going to see what we can do with this blade. But the purpose of this one is to actually more accurately help you define the difference and know the difference between a machete and a falchion. Okay? And there's subtle differences. Summarizing it quickly, correct profiling on the edge bevel and distal taper. Most machetes don't have that. The fact this one is from a true... the thing is, I don't think that this is a great machete. The edge is complete dog crap. And there is such a bevel lip on this where there is burring over on one side that this would almost be unusable. So... This isn't a shout out to this one. There's problems with it, but the fact that there are some really good elements that they nailed really great. This is an excellent blank to make a very historical falchion. Look how light and nimble this is, and this is with not even with a counterbalance. So there is some fun we're going to have with that. But there we go. That's the difference. Not all falchions are machetes. Not all machetes are falchions, but you can find some that are actually far more falchion-like than even falchions that you can buy on the market today. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you found it informative. And of course, I hope to see you on the next video here on Shadowversity. So until that time, farewell.
Let me remerge. And then yeah. I really wanted to try out the magical girl. I mean, I could probably still try. Maybe I can just put the magical girl costume to be lower. Maybe some other time.
This is Minecraft, but if Doug or I say any block in the game, lava, we explode. Our goal is to beat the game or die trying.
Can I just test this out? Dirt.
Nice job.
Wait, do I kill you? Stone.
Nice job.
Is there bricks in this game?
Yeah, stop! You
Nice
made me
job.
say-
Alright.
Nice job.
No, what? I actually know this, so let me break it down for anybody who doesn't know. The first one you do is you hit the trees for logs, and then you put 4 logs together to make a crafting table, and you make the then we get iron somehow. Wait, didn't you take my logs?
Yeah, they're
Nice job.
Oops. Oh, it's log, right? Like, okay, I can do that. Okay. So should we keep a death tracker and see who has more deaths?
Yeah, I think we should keep
Nice
it
job.
What did I say? I said deaths. I'm at 2 since we actually started this. Does it normally take 5 or 6 minutes to make a crafting table? Are we on pace?
No, we are definitely,
Nice job.
Oh crap! Wait, is there an ace log?
I
don't
think
even
our
know
voice
what to
recognition
do.
is just great.
I
Nice
think
job.
we have a good. I swear there's an block. I said and I died.
Nice
Let me
job.
test it out.
I said there's gotta be an block.
Here, look, I made this for you. Take care of it. And whatever you do not blow it up.
Okay.
That's
Ooh,
really important.
I know this. I'll put it in dirt.
Yeah, it might
Nice
be because
job.
apparently they added new animations.
Crafting table!
Sorry,
And
bro,
that
we're still on pace. Is
Magical
crafting
girl
table
mod
blocked?
thing.
Is that the name
Nice
for it?
job.
It's the most
Yeah,
likely
it's-
candidate.
Me, as the expert here, has created another.
Oh well, if that's the
CT,
case.
Another CT, and now we can craft stuff.
Okay, guys.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a pickaxe.
Oh,
Ripping
let's
and roaring.
go.
I've made a dog hole. You can come mine in the dog hole if you want. Oh,
Nice job.
what? Oh,
Nice job.
Well, you shouldn't have surprised me like that. I think we agree that.
Right, so all I need now is a
Nice
key
job.
and maybe a teleporter.
Oh wow, yeah. The mining hole is much bigger.
Nice job.
Okay, it's even bigger.
There's so many dead bodies in here.
Yeah, the dead bodies is a really nice touch.
You can literally see snow
Nice
on
job.
even the path
Why-
that we've taken.
Is there a nice touch block? Why would that kill
No,
me?
no, it's
What is
ice.
that?
You said ice.
Nice
Oh,
job.
there's a- oh, okay. Yeah, got it. That makes sense. Ice.
Nice job.
The wand is probably a
Oh, sorry, I
one-handed
totally
weapon. That's
forgot.
why.
Alright, you go to the
Yeah,
dog hole. We're going to
probably.
need some,
It's most likely
lava,
the case.
Lava and
So
water.
it should be fixed now.
Oh, we can't say water.
That's a block.
That's
That's not good, dude. There is H2O everywhere that wasn't here before.
Nice job.
Oh, it's before before. You can't say the word before. That's impossible.
Wait, why can't you say
Okay.
Nice job.
We only
Yep,
talk in the
alright.
present. We're like monks. Okay.
Dang
Don't
it.
Nice
think
job.
about the past.
Oh boy.
You were thinking about the past. You were thinking about
I
the past.
literally
You
just
need more in the present.
recalibrated. Why do I need to
I'm saying
recalibrate
34
again?
to 17 deaths.
Nice job.
I sighed dramatically into the microphone, and I said, tough.
Well, there's a lot of...
Nice
there's a lot of
job.
rock. Just stop breathing. Hold your
No
breath.
more sighing.
No more
Nice
sighing.
job.
We have made no progress. Nothing has happened.
There we go. Alright.
You've adventured all across this area, and you've found that there is no I word around here.
Yes, there's no I word.
Okay.
Nice job.
London,
Nice job.
So, I only
Nice
have
job.
heat resistant foods, armor,
go again?
I'm saying
But
not gold
we need
or
to go to the cold
Guys,
area.
This is so,
So, let's go.
aggressive with me.
Nice job.
God! Also, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe. That'd be pretty nice.
Nice job.
Alright, hopefully we can get a key
And
real
there's
quick.
Actually, on the side of here, there is an I word. So, ooh. Oh,
Nice job.
Oh, I said ooh! I said
oh
ooh!
my God!
I just said ooh! I said ooh!
Yeah, I changed the animation
Is
for
it still there?
crouching.
It is still there.
Crouch walking.
Okay.
Nice job.
Okay. Yes. Go on.
Let me make
Oh,
a
no, wait, I just
storage
realized.
container.
Let
that
me go
a
back
block?
to...
Yes.
Okay.
Like
okay.
what you have, that is your rib cage.
My boobs?
Yes, also known as a...
Tits? I don't know what you're going for.
Instead of chance in Monopoly, it's community something.
Oh, community tits.
Our community tits are over here.
Oh
okay?
no,
Yes, I see it.
gosh
If you go
darn
near
it.
it, you need to be quiet.
We need to establish a
Nice
quiet
job.
I can do it later, maybe. The
We need
ores
some
should
sort of
still
quiet
be
zone.
there, just
Yes, we need a
free to
quiet
take
zone
now.
roll.
Nice job.
Ah!
And those are important.
No!
Those are money.
No!
I blew up the
And
tits.
also,
No,
can't
wait.
forget
You blew up the
the
tits!
bananas.
Oh, I was trying to help. Wait,
What?
not talking because I found the tits.
You found the tits?
We're good. I found them in the water. We're good.
Oh my God!
Nice
yes!
job.
No, is it okay? Where are the tits? Find them, Moito. Where are
Oh
they?
shit,
Oh,
oh
I
shit.
got them. Oh, they're there. Hold on. Wait, are you there? I have placed the special eye block.
They don't die anymore from
You need to make the eye block.
the weaknesses. How
Nice job.
annoying.
Nice job.
No! No!
Where is it? It's the tits! Where is it? Moito!
I know where other hybrids are.
I will collect more
Oh, nice, I got it.
hard brown.
Okay, hard
Nice
brown
job.
is...
Thank you, Lizal.
I will try to collect more hard brown.
I
Nice
think I just
job.
remembered I had like a rule that so that I might be encouraged to at least go kind of fast. Along with
Nice
the
job.
Ganons, I also need to change the. Whoa, I didn't know you can walk on those.
Are you shielding the
I
tits?
also need to
Making
change
them
the
raw?
rules after every blood
Yes.
moon. There's been
There are
2 blood
two
moons by
hybrids.
far now, so far.
We need
Nice
3.
job.
I can't detect. We need 2.
Right now, so
Nice job.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
Nice job.
What did I?
Nice job.
No!
Nice job.
No! 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 Please! All my stuff!
Nice job.
No!
Tuft
He went through the process
is a
of
block.
making this program as accurate as possible. This is its best shot.
Nice job.
Uh-oh.
I even went through the whole training.
You guys are here now, huh?
Yes!
Don't
Nice
say
job.
that part. Get out of here! I told you did extra training. It's so hard to keep any items.
Hear me out.
Nice job.
No, that's
Sorry.
the idea I had. Lava.
Lava?
Wind cleavers are good.
Lava.
Lava.
Nice job. Nice job.
So you're saying we just carrot our way down into the abyss?
Yes,
Carrot.
we carrot our way down.
Carrot.
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 Carrot. Now it doesn't want to hear
Now,
carrot.
right.
Really? I'm just gonna burn to death. Carrot. This program is a total troll, dude. Carrot. 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 Peas and carrots.
Carrot.
Have
Nice
a
job.
way.
Nice job.
Okay. More.
Nice Nice job.
More.
Nice job.
This is productive.
Nice job.
Oh, stop. Is there is.
They're tits. They're tits. They're tits.
I got hard and pointy. There. It was one.
One tit, take two, holy bra.
Alright, we have three of them in there, so we're good.
Oh, is this for a bucket?
Yeah, we need to find molten rock, and then we can use that with liquid H2O and create another portal. Hopefully I can find some lava.
Nice job.
Yeah?
Tits.
Tits!
I found tits.
You find tits, me find hot rock. Put hot rock into bra tits.
Cool.
Nice job.
What?
What did you think?
Recognize it says cool.
Probably shouldn't say cool.
What's a good alternative?
I'm looking at a thesaurus.
Nifty. Nifty. Nice.
Nice
Wait,
job.
no!
Nice job. Nice job.
That was swell. That was dandy. That was prim and proper.
Nifty. I love the cave that we built ourselves.
Nice job. Nice job.
Apparently the score of deaths is evening up. It's now 154 to 133.
Nice job.
Uh-oh. 155.
Nice job.
156. Wait, what is that? Oh, wait.
Oh, cave! Oh, cave!
Hot rock! Magma!
No, hot rock! Oh my god, yes! We need source blocks. Oh, okay, so what we thought was a block of magma is just one magma.
Oh, okay. But we just need one, right?
We need 10. 10? You need 10. Okay, there should be a magma, like, pool somewhere, which has a lot of magma in it.
Oh, sick.
Let's see where I
Nice
just-
job.
Pretty sick.
Nice job.
One sec. Oh, you're on the last block! This is the only remnants of the place that we started.
I love how this is littered with your corpses, and then underneath it's all of mine. Because you just been staying up 2 more.
Yeah.
Nice job. Nice job.
Okay, there goes that block. Oh, and there's my body.
We revised the goal do we get into the nether, and that's our attempt. Once we enter the nether, that's our last life. We have to beat the rest of the game on that life.
Well, let's do that. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, because getting to the nether is going to be so hard still. It's seeming to me like our best bet is to find a magma pool.
Yes.
Because we can always just keep, blowing
Nice job.
No! Oh my god, brown! Why does it think I say bell so much?
Nice job.
Oh, what if I just dig straight down?
The reverb!
Alright, I'm gonna make a bell hole. Bell.
Nice job.
I will do my part. I will dig.
I will find magma.
More.
Nice job.
Bell.
Nice job.
Bell.
Nice job.
More.
Nice job.
No way. There's no. Oh my god! Oh my god!
What?
I found one!
I found
Nice
what?
job.
I found what? Say it. Tell me. Use your words. Did you find a D? Did you find an M? Did you find a B? Did you find a Z?
I found a magma pool.
Oh. Oh. This is what we've been dreaming of this whole time.
This is
More magma.
more magma. Wait.
Nice job.
Oh.
Nice job.
Okay. It took a second.
Ah,
I
right,
trust
their
you
chests.
to make a Scooby cup.
I can, but I feel like I'm gonna break the Scoopy Cup when I say a naughty word.
We're so close. So we have the magma. Oh, probably too quiet. I've got to be good luck.
Okay, we got the Scoopy Cup. Got the Scoopy Cup.
Put the Scooby
We
cup
didn't
away.
lose a tenth in the process. We're fine. Where do I put it? Where do I put it? In the
Put
white
it
zone?
in the quiet zone.
No.
Nice job.
When did you die?
Yeah, okay, wait, I got killed. No,
Nice job.
no, Scoopy Cup. I can't get to it.
Do you see the Scooby cup?
Nice job.
Ooh.
Nice job. Nice job. Nice job.
How? Where is?
Nice job.
It's so hard.
Nice job.
Scooby cup.
Nice job.
Scooby cup.
Nice job.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
What are you
Nice
saying?
My bad.
We have more.
Nice
We
job.
have more tents.
Nice job.
Don't.
Okay. I will make a sippy cup in the safe zone.
If there's anyone that can make a Scooby Cup, if there's anybody in existence, it's you.
Nice job.
Oh, that was near the quiet place. Did I blow it up? I don't think so. Making Scooby. Scooby made. Where put Scooby?
Quiet zone.
Okay, Scooby Cup's in quiet zone. I repeat, Scooby Cup is safe in the quiet zone.
Okay. We need one or two more things. We need a box at the pool, then we can put this Scooby Cup in the tip box. And prep.
Our goals have shifted slightly, but they're still incredible.
Hello there.
Wanna go for it? Let's go. So many bodies.
Welcome to
Yes.
what I've been up to.
That is super lucky.
Nice job.
Where do I go?
Let's get out of
I'm gonna try
here.
to go back and meet you there so I can take all the boats back.
Nice job.
Well, never mind. I actually just couldn't.
I should save the box. Tip box. I made it to the hole, and I placed down the tip box.
Let's go, let's go! Wait, so is it time for me to bring over the scoop boy? We got one shot at this. We don't have more tits.
We don't have more tits? This is the... Oh,
I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared.
Doug, I'm placing my trust in you.
I will get this bucket. Over to that pool.
All of your training leads up to now.
Wow, nifty.
Nifty. A little bit more to the right.
Oh, I see.
Nice job.
Oh, you'll see like fire.
Wow, nifty.
Wow,
It's
nifty.
It's
Okay.
in the chest. Okay.
Oh!
Nice job.
Oh, yeah, I can't see it. It's in the tit box. We're almost there. We should make a bed near there.
Nice job.
Oh, oops.
Alright, let's do it.
I don't agree with that change on Koga.
At beach.
Sheep at
I
beach.
didn't find that fun at all.
Good.
But I don't know. Feel free to call it skill
Nifty.
issue.
Village! Mountain!
Nice job.
No, I said. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
We sleep in the village bees.
Nifty!
Nifty.
Nifty! I give bed, you night bed, sleep bed.
You keep saying the B word. Stop saying that.
Nice job.
God! I see you!
Please tell me you have a bee.
I do. Here is it.
Yes! Oh my
Nice!
god, we don't have to do that swim anymore. Okay. Jesus, man.
Whenever you respawn, be quiet so you don't double blow up. I will get some blocks and then start on the board.
Tell me more.
Nice job.
No!
Nice job.
Okay, so actually,
Wait,
so what?
I'm back home. Why am I back home?
You broke the bed and moved it.
I
but
moved
you didn't.
it.
Oh, but then you have to set your spawn again.
So I'm gonna enable stalkers.
Nifty.
Nifty. I will start setting up for portal creation.
Nifty.
Nifty. I build over here. So
And then
Magma.
Wizrobes
not
too.
effective.
Why not?
Ooh.
Nice job. Nice job.
Quiet zone here.
There you go.
Dude! I got double killed again! It keeps thinking I'm saying Bell! Just get set up and I'll meet you there.
I've got
Let me just
2
get
blocks
my-
of 10.
Love that.
Nice job.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. I still need a B word.
Self an extra
It is
stamina wheel.
under H2O.
I am happy to say that I am no longer stuck in the starting hole. I am now in the new hole. Oh! Feels
Nice
nifty,
job.
man. Okay, time for portal. Time for portal. Where put Magma?
In hole.
Nice job.
Hole gone! No hole! And our rules are when we go into the nether, we get 1 life. And that's it, right?
Nifty.
That's it.
Wait. I have a great idea. Bell.
Nice job.
You killed me! Did it work?
I don't know. Let's see if it worked. Whoa! Oh, it worked!
It worked?
It worked. We can go to the nether.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm so ready for this.
Okay, so once we go in the nether, if we die, we're dead. We're gone.
Yeah. I'm ready. We've been training for 5 hours. We can do this.
It's now or never, Doug. It's now or never.
Let's do it. I'm so ready.
I cannot wait. Oh, I can't. We need to get to the portal somehow.
Nice job.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't make it Portal.
Nice job.
Oh, really cute.
Is Portal not allowed?
Don't say it. Don't say it. It
Okay,
sounds good.
alright, guys. Be safe.
Nice job.
Be safe! We can't even get into the goddamn portal. Just run. Just run to it. Ready?
Ready?
We going? We going?
Ready?
Go! Let's go! Go!
Let's go!
Let's go!
No!
Nice job.
Oh, God!
Are you in?
I'm not in! Not yet, not yet!
I thought I said the B word. One last B word before end.
Nice job.
Oh,
Nice job.
3 last B words before end.
Nice job.
Past end.
In past end. Ready? No more B word.
Nice job.
No extra B word. God, dude, I'm ready.
Let's go. To the nether. Where if we die forever.
Nice job.
Oh my God!
We did it! Woo!
Oh, wait, it's because I said forever. With the
Oh,
or.
God. Like, bro.
No!
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. And angry. This Spiral Abyss sucks. Plain as day. It's just awful. I can explain to you why the Spiral Abyss in general sucks, and I will, but I'm gonna explain to you why this one in particular just sucks. And so let's get right into it. The first thing I want to mention, but not like the main thing I want to mention, something from my personal experience in the Spiral Abyss. I just cleared it on stream, like, just an hour ago. You should drop by twitch.tv/ways2. I stream Genshin Impact and other stuff on occasion. Pop by if you want to, please. I'm kind of lonely. And consider subscribing right now. Yeah, there's a red button there. Click it too. Please. Thank you. But what I wanted to mention was the Dark Souls enemies in Chamber 2. The second half, I believe, yeah, those things are a lot tankier than I expected. And I should have taken that as a warning as to what was coming. Because Dark Souls is a difficult game, and Genshin is also going to be a difficult game, but for completely different reasons. And what I'm talking about is the Wii Nut. Yup, that stupid little green worm that goes into the ground and just stays in there forever and comes out occasionally to like breathe air like a whale or something. I don't know. Yeah, it sucks. It stays out in the open shorter than Usain Bolt can probably run the 100 meters. Like, it's just so fast at going back into the ground. It stays out in the open for such a short period of time. It's crazy. You're just playing a waiting game with that enemy. The enemy is hard, but it's not like mechanically hard, like it hits hard or has like some pattern of attack that you have to know or like some mechanic that you have to play around. No, the mechanic's just waiting. You can just stand there and do nothing, and that won't change anything. Like I get, Genshin players that like combat have been saying, oh, the game's not hard enough. Yeah, we like challenges. We like hard stuff. Like hard abysses, sure. I don't think a lot of people like the Spiral Abyss in general just because like how it works. I don't like the Spiral Abyss in general. I like combat, but not the Spiral Abyss type of combat. It's a bad, boring combat style. they need a rework Spiral Abyss, but I'll get to that later. We like hard, just not stupid hard. And by stupid hard, I mean you wait and do nothing and you can't do anything about it. I'm pretty sure we would enjoy enemies that require mechanics for the Abyss. Like, not so much of damage, like an artifact check, but more like you have to know the game to beat it. Kind of like 411, because 411 is more mechanic based, just make it 412 instead. It's not a damage check, it's like a mechanic check or like a team check.
Thankfully,
elements, you need certain elemental reactions.
this mod was kind enough to realize that
cool.
bosses are just absolutely absurdly difficult, so they just reload you to a checkpoint rather than
you like the Rune Serpent before?
do the Dark
Souls
Souls.
Version of that. You're welcome. You don't like it? Well, too bad. Yeah, so pretty much the Luna just sucks. It's like the worst thing that's ever happened to the Spiral Abyss. No, we thought Rift Hounds are bad. Yeah, at least we could hit them. They teleport only for a moment, then teleport back. Yeah, but this thing just goes underground and stays underground forever. Now talking about the regular Spiral Abyss issues, because sure the enemy is hard, but that combined with inconveniences of the Spiral Abyss makes it even more annoying. Because when you reset and all that, it's really annoying whenever you retry in the Spiral Abyss, because your cooldowns aren't reset. And I don't know why they haven't fixed it in the 2.5 years of Genshin Impact. Like, it's a simple thing, just let the cooldowns be reset when you retry. I mean, that's pretty standard. If you 3-star Chamber 1 at 412, you already 3-starred it. So just let us change teams in the middle of Chamber 2, so we don't have to clear Chamber 1 again, because we already 3-starred it. I mean, just let us do that. Sure, you want us to play the game, but we already have enough to do with exploring if you want to explore. Don't make us do unnecessary stuff, right? It's just wasting our time. The Spiral Abyss, this rotation sucks. On top of the inconveniences of every Spiral Abyss, it's just awful. It's an awful experience. They need to rework the Spiral Abyss. I cleared it. I admittedly did it first try pretty much. I had to reset a couple of times because I either died just a skill cheating, or I wasn't really doing the right rotations. Which is to say weird, because I used super meta teams. I used National the first half and Hyperwood the second half with Nahida and Yolan. That's pretty meta. And even that, the third chamber with Alina, I only had 10 seconds left to spare. I used the metas of metas, and I still only had 10 seconds to spare on that third chamber. That's how stupid the Wii Nut is.
Right.
Just imagine if I didn't use those teams, and I didn't have those characters to use, I would probably be retrying a lot. Sure, you should learn the mechanics of each enemy. That's how you're supposed to play the game. Learning the mechanics and playing around them, so you can deal the most damage, be most efficient. But I shouldn't be struggling with the meta of meta teams. Xiaoling, Meta, Kazuha, Xingqiu, and then Nahida, Zhongli, Yoan, Hyperboom Denja reactions, with over 1,000 EM on Kuki. I should have at least 30 seconds left to spare. You also have to take into account that I'm very high investment. AR60, I've been farming artifacts forever. My artifacts are pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know what else to say. That's about it. The Abyss sucks. Hopefully you can clear. If you can't, I totally understand. It's not really worth your time if you have to keep resetting. 35 stars, 36 stars.
Sickles and War Picks could be devastating in historical combat, but what if... As is the custom on this channel, apparently, people sometimes ask me about particular anime weapons and want to know how practical they would be in real life. And when I first saw this thing from Naruto, I couldn't help but groan and roll my eyes, because not only is it a triple scythe, it's also attached to a length of rope and is being thrown. Because of course, why wouldn't it? But then I thought about it some more, and maybe there's some merit to it. Let's take a closer look. So, sickles and kamas, even though they were originally agricultural tools, can be brutally effective in combat. There are a few sources here and there that show the use of them, and I've tried it out in sparring and also tests on ballistic dummies and whatnot. Yes, they definitely work. Really, the only disadvantage is how short they are. It can be extremely challenging to get to within your reach against a longer weapon. So, what's an easy solution to that? Well, put it at the end of a long pole, so now you don't have a reach disadvantage. I've got this scythe because I'm planning to make a video about actual historical scythe techniques. I still need to get around to making a spare blade that's safe for sparring, whether it's blunt steel or aluminum or nylon or something. I just haven't had the time for it. A standard agricultural scythe, of course, has the problem that it's not designed for combat, so generally these blades are really thin, and to the point of being fragile, at least a lot of them. There are different types. Either way, you can just modify them a little bit and make them perfectly viable for combat. So, what if you triple it? Put another 2 on there. Does that make any sense? Well, let's look at the pros and cons. An obvious appeal in a fantasy scenario is
it looks cool.
Right? That's debatable. Depending on who you are, it might just look silly. But fair enough. That doesn't really translate to any real-life advantage, other than maybe it's intimidating. Now, experienced warriors are not psyched out easily. If you went back in time and confronted a knight with a triple scythe, he would probably look at you like you're insane, and then proceed to crush you. But you might be able to scare a rookie, at least. Fair enough. So what else is there? Well, if you have 3 blades, or even just 2, it's easier to trap an opponent's blade. You can always hook and try to control an opponent's blade, even with just 1. Just the fact that it's mounted perpendicular gives you some options. But of course, if you have more than 1 blade, there is a chance to trap an opponent's weapon in between and make it harder for them to withdraw it, so you can manipulate it more easily and control it. You can also not attack at the same time while they're bound up, so there's that. But that's a potential feature you can use. A more significant advantage of multiple blades is that they make it easier to hit the target. Assuming you're using a war pick style penetrating attack, which is generally the most effective. You can cut with the edge, but it can be pretty difficult because most angles are out. In combat, it's not easy to actually perform a hewing cut, basically. As such, it's always going to impact with the point rather than the edge. There are some situations where you might be able to slice, like hook behind a limb and pull and try to cut that way, which is not easy. A sickle like this, you absolutely can, because it's not a perpendicular angle. It's most of the edge is more or less parallel to the handle, and then it becomes perpendicular toward the edge. So it's absolutely possible to cut like this. That is a lot more difficult. So if you have this sort of configuration, then you want to attack with a point, this is all you got to work with, right? So your accuracy needs to be within this area. If you miss, if somebody swings this at me,
I literally can't fire the bow fast
my
enough.
chest,
It
and they're
rejams too
quite a bit
fast.
off. And it goes
That's so
over
stupid.
top. So now it just
then.
hits me with the half, which isn't. I mean, it'll still hurt, but not as much as this, obviously. Particularly if you aim for limbs, this is extremely difficult to actually hit a moving target with such a small area. So if you have 3 points of contact, you have 3 times the chance about to hit a target. And then, of course, if the attack lands, it inflicts 3 wounds instead of 1. That doesn't mean 3 times the damage. Keep that in mind. Because with one of these, if it's just 1 blade, you concentrate all the force of that strike on 1 small area, which is why war picks are so frickin' devastating, and similar weapons. If you have 3 blades, now you're distributing the force over 3 points of contact rather than 1. So each one is going to penetrate less than the single one. Now with a war pick or a similar design, how much does it matter? Not really all that much, because they tend to over-penetrate. Even against armor, this is ridiculous. we've seen that in various tests. So it takes very little effort to just sink this right up to the haft into various targets, no problem. So if it does get distributed across 3 points of entry, it's still plenty of fuel. There's still plenty of power behind it. So that's something that I used to point out. You're dividing it by 3 more or less. Might not be that big of a deal because of the excess of force that it offers. Alright, so what about the cons? First off, it takes longer to make. Instead of 1 blade or spike or whatever, you have to make 3, and you have to attach them to the
I probably want some electric
so it's just
before I do
more effort,
Thunderblight.
more time needed, more cost. The next disadvantage weighs in pretty heavily. Weight. It's almost 3 times the mass. Not quite, because of course the handle or haft weighs some too, but you're adding a significant amount of weight, and thereby it's clunkier. Michael Cthulhu made one of these triple scythes. Of course he did. And you can tell, even though he gets the customary blacksmith plus 3 strength bonus or whatever it is, he struggles with it. The thing is quite heavy. It's extremely unwieldy. So that's, of course, a problem. If you're fighting an opponent with a lighter, more agile weapon, you're in trouble. Because it's going to take you longer to accelerate and decelerate it. It's going to take you longer to recover after a swing. So an opponent with a lighter weapon, if they know how, they can easily exploit it, just evade, counterattack, while you're still struggling to move back to a guard and then defend.
A defense.
However,
now.
this depends on exactly how you do it. The easiest way would be if you take a pole arm and simply redistribute the weight. So instead of 1 heavier blade, you turn it into 3 lighter blades. Like you take the same amount of steel and you just make each individual blade thinner and perhaps smaller overall in profile. And there are some pretty hefty pole arms in history. If we look at this real-life Partisan, for example, it weighs about 3 kilograms or well over 6 pounds. That's rather hefty. So you could take the same amount of steel and shape it into 3 individual sickle or scythe or warpick blades.
What an idiot.
It's doable. And the final disadvantage that comes to mind is 3 points of entry also means 3 times the risk of getting stuck. So whenever a weapon like this breaks through armor or enters a body, there are a number of things that can go wrong. In fact, if just one of these 3 blades hits a harder part, be it a thicker, harder part of the armor or a thick bone or something like that, it might stop the weapon altogether. So there's basically 3 times the risk of hitting something that it just can't penetrate past, producing a shallow wound. Or even if it penetrates all the way,
it looks really cool.
It's going to be more difficult to
but,
withdraw
like,
it because it might, one of the blades might
really
hook behind a bone or, some macabre mechanic like that. A lot of things can happen. There's one other benefit, but it's a give and take. It's pros and cons. If you have 3 blades instead of 1, there's some redundancy. So if 1 blade gets damaged or breaks or snaps right off the haft, you have 2 more to work with. So the triple version of such a weapon can sustain more damage before it becomes unusable. The drawback is, if you want to maintain the same or at least a similar amount of mass to not make it overly clunky, then each individual blade is more fragile. If you just have 1 single blade with the whatever mass you're working with, how much steel you want to use, then it's going to be thicker and just more robust. If you make 3 out of the same material, or at least similar, even if you increase it a little bit, each individual blade is going to be significantly less sturdy. So you're risking more damage anyway. So if we look at the practical pros and cons, style and aesthetics aside, it's an even number, so it actually seems pretty balanced. So it seems like a good weapon, potentially. Well, it seems like in history, people didn't really agree. Or at least, for one reason or another, it wasn't really done. For the most part. There are 2 exceptions I was able to find. There might be more, but these are the only ones I'm aware of. One is a Chinese pole art, the G, which usually is made with 1 blade, but there are a few examples of triple-bladed versions. And in this case, there's quite a bit of space in between the different blades. So I'm assuming one of the pros of this was exactly what they had in mind here, that it's easier to hit the target because they're more evenly spaced. If you miss with one, you're most likely going to connect with the other 2, or at least 1 out of 3. So that was done, and there are also triple-bladed Native American gun stock war clubs. That's a different approach. The 3 are spaced pretty tightly here. I don't know for sure if these were really used in real-life combat, because at least some gunstock war clubs were intended for ceremonial use. That can be difficult to suss out either way, but at least they existed. So it seems that generally people in history either thought the cons outweigh the pros, or it just straight up didn't occur to them. Not everything that wasn't made and used back then is completely useless. If you think about the question, why didn't they invent XYZ earlier in history? You know, they had the materials, the technology earlier, but they didn't. Why not? Well, probably because they didn't think of it. You know, it just took a while until somebody eventually had the idea and implemented it, and there you go. Anyway, that's about all I've got. Just one more thing, a little detail about the placement of the edge. You can see on Hidan's side from Naruto, the top looks like it's sharpened, which makes perfect sense, at least in case of the top size blade, because the bottom edge you wouldn't be able to use. In this case, it's the same all throughout, just to make it visually
It's really dangerous
consistent.
when you're moving like that.
What you would want to do, in this case, of 3 blades would be a sharpened edge on top of the top blade, then really no edge on the center blade, because you're not going to be able to cut with it either way. It's just, you can't apply the edge to anything. And then on the bottom blade, the edge should be at the bottom, so that you can actually potentially cut with this. The most effective on a scythe would actually be an edge on top, because this is relatively easy to cut with for a rising cut. The inside edge is more difficult to use, depending on the exact angle. Anyway, hope you found this interesting and entertaining. Thanks for watching. Don't mind the snowplow out there. That's hella noisy. I don't know if you can hear it. Anyway, have a good one. Take care.
3 terminals remaining. Hang on.
I'm gonna beat Minecraft in 100 days without breaking any blocks, without killing any mobs, and using only this. Believe me, it's possible. This is obviously inspired by Ryan Tran's series, so because of that, every subscriber on this video is 1 penny to Feeding America. So subscribe for a good cause, and also because I have more amazing videos coming very soon. And while I spawn in the world and start walking in a random direction, let's talk about those rules. Rule number 1, I can't break any blocks that I'm not responsible for. So unless I made it, I can't use it. Rule number 2, no killing anything. So I need to find a way to beat the game without killing a single mob, including the dragon. Rule number 3, no stealing, because stealing is wrong. So everything I'm going to use in this world is going to come from this emerald, and I'm in hardcore mode, which means I can starve to death, and I only have 1 emerald, and I don't want to waste it on food. So I have to walk. No jumping, no sprinting, no swimming, being very careful and deliberate with all of my movements. I made my way into a desert biome, which was actually one of the ones that I was looking for reasons you'll see in a little bit. Soon into walking this way, I found a village on the water, which would be an absolute amazing find. You see, desert villages can have crafting tables and furnaces, 2 things I'm going to need very early on to succeed, including these sticks I found on the ground, my first item in this world. But I was really here for one reason. My friend, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to have to borrow a good portion of your house. Yep, that's what I thought. It's even green like my emerald. No, get out. After borrowing their bed, it was time to explore the village a little bit more. There was nothing else immediately useful here, but I saw another tower in the distance. Walking over, I saw that it was actually an abandoned village. These are super rare, and an easy way to find some rotten flesh right away. There's a few zombies trapped in the walls, in the ceiling. Buddy? How you doing? You okay? Yeah, I know, it's an emerald. It's green, just like you. But some rabbit hide was sitting around, and this is another reason I wanted to be in the desert. You see, since I can't kill anything, and I can't break any blocks, I need to be creative with how I'm finding food. And cats that spawn in villages hunt rabbits that spawn in deserts. So this is why I wanted to be here. With a little bit of raw rabbit in hand, I chased and corralled a few more over into corners, trying to get cats in that direction too, sleeping in the abandoned village inside day 3. Now, this whole gameplay is going to be a little bit slower. You need to prepare yourself. This is a look at Minecraft in its most basic form, as a true adventure, not as a sandbox. Arming myself with only food that I can get from cats that I've hunted, I stayed up late into the night this day, getting an arrow and some bones from a skeleton that has been killed, and realizing that golems don't hunt creepers, so I'm gonna have to just run. I also picked up a little bit of string, but cheering the golems on right now is my path to victory. Yes, that's right. Get them. I will just pick this up. I don't think they have a cleric. Yes, come and be murdered by my friend over here. Using myself as bait is proving pretty effective. This food will keep me from starving to death. I just need to be very careful to not take any hits, as any bit of damage, oh no, I'm taking a ton of hits. The next morning, once the leftover zombies and husks had been cleared by the golems, as they tried to come in and murderificate the whole town, I ended up eating some zombie flesh, just getting back up to full, standing perfectly still while the hunger effect was in play, so it wouldn't negatively affect my food levels. As I started exploring what was available outside and around this village, I found an egg sitting on the ground, which would be useful until I remembered, like in 20 days, that I can't actually kill chickens. Found my way through a savanna biome into a savanna village, which was another important one, and had some critical blocks that I could use, except this one was split by a river right down the middle, and all of the villagers ended up getting stuck in the water. I couldn't really do anything about it. I hung around this village for a little while, since they had a brand new fresh golem, picking up any mob drops that were around, eventually seeing some seeds sitting on the ground from a block of water that had updated in a kind of cursed state. Savannah villagers are notorious for this, so this came in pretty clutch. Day 5 and the start of this challenge is pretty clear. This is gonna be a slow burn. The highlight of my day was watching the cats on the hunt. Okay, Bunny, I'm very sorry, but you're going. Cat, do your job. As it went into the night and the golems were protecting me from husks, I realized creepers could be useful for something. If I could get one more stick, I could make a fishing rod, and that would be huge. As one creeper blew up, I did get a little bit of sand and sandstone, which is going to come in handy later, but no sticks. And eventually I saw some iron and a poppy sitting on the ground, meaning the spider jockey right there had killed them. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not happy to see them dead, but I am happy to have 4 iron, even though I can't really use it for anything right now. I did see a witch, and sticks are one of their most common drops, so if I get the golem to kill the witch, I'll probably be able to make a fishing rod and feed myself, but instead they dropped glass bottles. I mean, it fits the recycling theme for sure, and just a little bit after that, I was able to get one creeper to blow up another for a piece of gunpowder. That is definitely gonna come in handy. Day number 6, and I'm waiting for one of 2 things to happen. Either a stick needs to spawn, or something else, which is key to this strategy. So I followed the cats during the day, and the golems during the night, getting drops from both of their prey, but one thing was quite elusive.
For long enough for the thing to be aligned.
You just saw a witch for like a half a second. Following on through an unsuccessful hunt of a night, I was into day 7, picking up any of the scraps that were sitting around, just taking stock of what little I had in my inventory. Normally, by now, I'm in at least full iron armor. I'm making progress on a base or some sort of place of operation. And no,
terminal
standing in the
facing
desert,
upwards.
doing my thing, talking with the villagers who won't sell anything to me. Now I only have 2 sticks, and this is a huge investment. I made myself an iron hoe, hoeing the grass that was right here in the village and using all of the bones into bone meal to convert a lot of that into wheat and more seeds, which could be used for more trading. After full sending it with all of the seeds in my inventory and about half of the bone meal that I had, I was able to trade and double my emerald supply. This was a huge first step, but now instead of 1 stick, I needed 3. Alright buddy, you and me, we're gonna find a witch and kill them. This is the plan for tonight, and then this run can actually kick off. 2 hours in. I let that golem out and into battle, and they fought valiantly. They killed a ton of different mobs, getting me some basic trash drops, but eventually they fell. I picked up the iron so it wouldn't go in vain, and then had some creepers help me out. Okay, the creeper made sticks. Try to do this again. Here. It's 2! Why is it always 2? On the morning of day 8, as I was busy cleaning up the trash around this village, somebody's got to do that job, we had a special visitor. Wandering Trader! This be something good. 5 emeralds or spruce sapling. Pumpkin seeds. That spruce sapling is the only way I'm actually going to succeed at this challenge, and I need to double and more my emeralds to get it. I invested all of the bone meal I had into wheat, but it wasn't going to be enough. I did have a few cactuses though, and while I'm not killing anything, I'm not saving the llamas, even though karma got me there. Oh, broke the... broke the lead. I was a lot more careful with the second one, picking up a lead, which is huge for the playthrough. Being able to guide animals is a must. But I found a few more bones, converting that to bone meal, to wheat, and to my 3rd emerald. I'm 60% of the way there. And I started day 9 with an explosive bit of progress. Let's stick. Please tell me that didn't delete the stick in the first explosion. Yes! Okay, we can finally make progress now. Yep, that's me, excited about a stick. Deeply excited about a stick. Because there's one other way we can get to success, and that is this fishing rod. But to get this to really work, I need to leave the desert, head south, and travel back towards one of the jungle biomes that I had seen earlier in my adventure. And this will only work here, and it's actually kind of wonderful that it's raining. You see, when fishing, you can either get a fish, a piece of treasure, or a piece of junk. And I'm specifically looking for one specific piece of junk, a single piece of bamboo. While the fish is definitely good, it's a renewable food source and something that I can use to keep myself alive, that one green shoot is my absolute most treasured possession right now. If only I can get it. And if I can get it, I don't even need to worry about the sapling, even though that'll definitely be useful. After sleeping in the Plains village on day 10, I traveled around seeing that they had a cleric as well, which could really come in handy. It's one of the few times I'm excited to see these churches. The only problem was they had a small hole. Luckily, I had 2 blocks of sand to enable it so that somebody could land. Yes! That's 4 emeralds! We're up to 4 emeralds! If we get 1 more, we can go back and buy the spruce from the Wandering Trader. With my emeralds once again doubled, the only thing I can do right now is hope for night that I can get enough rotten flesh before the Wandering Trader despawns back at the desert village, setting me back massively by at least another hour before one can potentially appear. Bowl. Can I do anything with the bowl? I don't know if I can do anything with the bowl, but I have a bowl now. Fishing proved a bit of a mixed bag, and as soon as it was dark enough for mobs to spawn, I immediately ran back to the Plains village, just hanging out behind the Iron Golem, doing my duty as a member of this town to just pick up any trash that happened to be laying on the ground, because one person's trash is one cleric's treasure. On day 11, 24 rotten flesh is not enough to trade, so we're gonna have to go back to fishing and do more zombie hunting with our golem friend later tonight. Now, catches here were kind of a mixed bag. I did end up getting a tripwire hook, which could come in handy if I want to build a trapped chest for any reason,
maybe a crossbow, but I can't kill anything. I did get a ton of fish, which is going to be super useful, both for taming cats, as well as getting a lot more food for myself and for said cats. As it started going over to the evening, I had 2 great catches back to back. Are you kidding me? I get a name tag before I get bamboo. That is legitimately wild. Bamboo, this one. Please. Seriously? Oh my god, that's huge! That is such a big come up. That is genuinely massive. What was that? It's another cod. Alright, last cast on this tag. It's going to break when I pull it. You've served me well, fishing rod. You've done your greatest. You brought me a better version of yourself. But now, it's your time to go. Please give me bamboo. God. With my original fishing rod broken, but a replacement in my inventory, I headed back over to the Plains Village to watch the golem do their work, getting into the morning and our next big step. Yes! That is the most excited anyone has ever been to collect rotten flesh. Hello? Yes, that is 5 emeralds. Okay, we have to get back to the desert village as fast as possible. With enough emeralds in my inventory, I immediately ran back to the village, and my only hope right now is that the time that the wandering trader spent on unloaded chunks did not count towards its despawn timer, and that it would be there when I got there. I see them, and I'm going to run. I have the fish, I can afford to run, not disappear. As long as I'm looking at you, you are legally not allowed to disappear.
Are you kidding me?
It's about to be storming. Oh! Oh, that is massive! You are my path to completing this game. Using some bones into bone meal, I converted that sapling into a full tree, punching it down and getting my very first spruce wood, and a whole host of new unlocks from there.
Oh my god, how often does the game save?
Oh, there's 4. We can craft a big one. We can get more. 5 saplings is a huge profit. I made myself a boat to make water travel a little bit easier, finding an ink sac just sitting on the ground. If I want to dye anything, this will come in handy. The next thing I need now is coal, or charcoal, and I don't have any stone, so I'm going to need a furnace. Headed over to the Savannah Village, thinking that I had seen one there, knowing that I had seen a furnace somewhere, but not remembering. The Savannah Village was a strikeout, so that boat came in clutch, sailing all the way down the river, making my way all the way to the Plains Village. They didn't have any furnace, and they did have a Fletcher. Fortunately, that Fletcher did not have a stick trade, which was pretty devastating. I was counting on that. The next day, I'm trying to convince the Fletcher to reset on their trades somehow. My first thought was if I could find and isolate the fletching table, maybe they would lose their job association, but they don't actually need line of sight for getting a job, just restocking, so that doesn't work. So we're going to have to find another village with another Fletcher, and oh boy, this is going to be a lot of travel to try to earn any emeralds at all. I found some kelp on the ocean as I was sailing, going for almost the full day, finding my way to another Savannah village a little bit later in the afternoon. They had most of what I needed, a crafting table and an armorer who could help keep me alive. The next morning, I'm talking with all the villagers, and then I found something useful. That won't work, but that will.
I'm very certain it's Dark Army Resurrection
I
problem.
want to eat. I want to eat some cooked food. Actually, wait.
Exclusively.
If we can get 9... Oh, this might be the play. If we can get 9 of those, we can cook the rest of them. This is absolutely the play. We can get 1 kelp block that cooks more than a kelp block's worth of kelp. Being able to convert kelp into dried kelp and getting 22 kelp cooked from 1 kelp block of 9 is a net positive loop as long as you keep growing kelp, and I made sure to save some aside. I invested one of my precious few iron ingots into making a shield, heading down into the large cavern right next to the village to have a creeper help me find a little bit of cobblestone. It wasn't enough though, and I still had more that I needed to do. So I sailed off, making a wrong turn initially, heading off towards another village which was sad and boring and had nothing of value in it, sailing all the way back, which took the entire day. Literally, this is at 20x speed. Making my way through several different islands and eventually giving up on the night at the Plains village, sleeping there and continuing my trek from there northward up through the water channel back towards my desert home. I made myself a wooden hoe, which would come in handy, planting the one melon seed that I had found on the ground at one of the previous savannah villages to be able to start growing melons as well. I also made some quick fences and started getting some friends.
I'll need to fight those lizards and stuff again.
Hello, friend. Great job. You're gonna make me. Well, you may not surprise me. I spawned and tortured these chickens for the entire 100 days, and I forgot that I couldn't kill them. So yeah, they just kind of sat in the pen for forever. That day ended with a little bit of tree chopping, which is something you're gonna see quite a bit of, and a quick nap. Going into day 18, I started exploring in another direction. Having no ability to modify the world is making me really venture out very cautiously and carefully, just trying to find new things that are useful without having to worry about heading too far. I sailed as far as I could, wandering into yet another desert village and just talking with everybody to seeing if anybody had meaningfully useful trades. By the time I had cleared the village, it was day 19 and I continued sailing, making my way towards another area, finding more villages, visiting for any of them, and then moving on to the next. I'm also trying to identify a taiga biome where wolves can spawn, and I found one, but no future pets. On the way back, I did give a creeper a quick hug to get a few more pieces of cobblestone so I'd be able to craft a furnace, but it's late. And I am almost out of food and almost about to die, so I just fished while standing on the boat going into day 20. And the time going by is really putting this whole world into perspective. It makes me realize how lucky we are to have no restrictions on our creativity unless we put them there ourselves. I was able to make a quick furnace on day 20, and I was so excited about it. Smelting up one of the logs into a piece of charcoal, I planted all of the kelp as well, and now that I had enough spruce saplings and some dirt for several creeper explosions, planted enough saplings to get myself a big tree, and invested 3 more iron into a bucket so I could carry around a bucket of water to avoid, dying to fall in. Oh, the first melon! Yes! New item unlocked. That evening, the very first melon grew, meaning my operation could continue to scale up, going into day 21, where I'm harvesting all of the wheat, standing out in the rain, and I am kind of matching the mood of this weather. I need to get a Fletcher who will accept stick trades. Wheat is useful, but it is slow, and it will not get me enough emeralds fast enough to beat this game in the time that I have. So I spent the day finding a gravel beach and a nether portal just a little ways off. I have 1 bucket, and I don't normally cast my portals, I normally build them, so I spent a little bit of practice, and well, it didn't go well. Wish I could see the sunset over that direction. But playing this game a little bit differently, taking it slow, being in no armor, being excited about having, a furnace on day 21, honestly makes me just kind of appreciate this game a little differently. This has been fun. Once it was dark enough to spawn mobs, a couple creepers were more than happy to go exploding around me, trying to damage me, but instead handing me gravel, which would be extremely important, me being able to, do this challenge. By the time I had sailed home, the large tree had grown, but mobs were a little too prevalent, so I took a quick nap, going to harvest that tree down in the morning instead, something that I did dozens upon dozens of times. I crafted up my first fletching table, my first friend having a stick trade, and got to work. Oh my goodness, let's go. We have 16 emeralds! We are so rich all of a sudden! Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, well, we need more wood. Well, look at that. 16 emeralds. 16 times what I had started in this world with, and I actually had a viable form of being able to make money in this world.
This is where the challenge really starts to ramp up and kick off quickly. I did more trading for emeralds throughout the entire day, being absolutely flush with the stuff by the time it was evening and the villagers were starting to call it a night. But I wasn't done yet. The crops were able to be harvested about every day or two, and after a couple I was able to throw just one more emerald in and end the day just short of half a stack. Having started this day at 0, that feels amazing. And here's where the challenge turns kind of into daily chores of the game. I chopped hundreds of logs, bone mealed hundreds of seeds up into wheat, and traded all of that into this village's economy, single-handedly becoming just a huge source of raw materials and resources. I never saw them put a single block down. That one is kind of weird. I'm crafting up wooden axes to try to make it move just a little bit faster, throwing any string that I had in towards the villagers' pockets as well to get them leveled up. But as the IRL clock ticked over midnight, I restarted my game for a little festive treat. Christmas Eve. So I restarted my game so we'd have Christmas present chests. I really wanted them. I got so excited. Look at it, it's adorable. Day 24, and it's Christmas. I got one of the Fletchers up to their expert level trade, even though I'm still primarily only using the first one, saving an iron golem from being stuck in the water, and taking the carcass of one of their fallen friends to make myself a smithing table.
Okay, this is an investment. Smithing pickaxe.
I thought the enemies respawn as well. Man, there used to be so many keys here. Oh, there's still the batteries at least.
At some point in the future.
And an ancient ore.
Just not right now.
Now I can make a toolsmith, which means I can make stone axes, but is a massive improvement over just breaking these logs by hand. And if I can level this toolsmith all the way up to their max level, I'm practically guaranteed to get a full set of diamond tools. So my income right now comes from logging and farming, throwing sticks and wheat at the villagers for whatever they'll take. My only expense in the world is axes, which help me do my job a little bit faster, and they're not making me pay rent. I've basically moved in taking over the whole place. But it was near the end of this day that I finally cracked a full stack of emeralds and then some. 66 in my pocket, and we're only a quarter of the way through this thing. I think it's doable. The morning of day 25, my main moneymakers were conspiring, which would make me think a little bit about market manipulation. Maybe I'm the one getting scammed. I spent the day doing all of my chores, and my Fletcher is approaching that master level. If I could get a cool arrow, that would be nice, even though I could never use it. But while I was doing a little bit of fishing, the one villager who's of no use to me was just getting up in my business.
Stop following me around. Not interested in talking with you. You literally can do nothing to help this challenge, I'm sorry.
I spent a good portion of the day fishing before realizing that that fishing rod is not the only way I could do it. The other way is just a little more gruesome.
Oh, this is so gruesome. I didn't think about the fact that this is actually kind of sad. Oh no!
Fuck, I'm bone meal too. I'm getting this super useful. Okay, where's the cat? Yeah, we're never doing that again, but with a bunch of fish in my pocket, I ran off towards the abandoned village, thinking that if I could get one of the cats tamed, they could be giving me gifts each night when I would sleep, would be a new source of additional items. And some of the things that they drop are really potentially useful.
Also, I didn't even realize there was a smelter right here the whole time. I didn't need to struggle for that long to get cobblestone. Okay, cat, we're gonna try the whole gifts. We're gonna try gifts. Oh, it sleeps on my lap, and it gave me the rabbit hide. Perfect. Getting some rabbit hides and some rotten flesh from the zombies that were in that village is definitely useful. I got my third melon shoot all the way grown up, being able to grow additional melons. I will need those for when my farmer hits higher levels. I planted a lot of the cactus, thinking that eventually if I make a composter, I could turn this into bone meal. Cactus is a pretty efficient source for that, spending a lot of time doing logging and trading all of those sticks in, getting my Fletcher to master, and getting jump boost arrows.
not even worth shooting myself with, really. But after
The
trading
spear
so
isn't
many
smooth
axes,
entirely.
Toolsmith is at a point where I'm not sure what to do with them, and the golem is trapped inside one of the main stands in the village. So I just fished to decompress and figure out what I'm going to do with each of those problems in the morning. And I thought about that and handled it by leaving, taking a tour through all of the different Savannah villagers for an armorer who would be able to get me iron armor so I'd be able to survive. I checked the closest one first, realizing that whoever had it had lost their job being stuck in the river, finding another one along the way, but there was no armor smith there, so that wasn't really super useful. Going back to the one that was all the way on the other side of the ocean, near the end of the night, not even worrying about the trade, going to sleep right away. On day 28, I got distracted from armor because they had a cleric, so I threw a bunch of emeralds at them, trading for redstone, and then for lapis, and then for glowstone, trying to get them up to the trade that was the most important for this entire run. Here's the level that matters. Please give me pearls. Yes! Okay. This is actually really good, so... 8. 12. That is exactly enough for a portal. It is a massive, and I mean massive monetary investment, but it is worth it. I trapped that villager right away because a pearl trade
I was gonna
is
give it
the
like
only
one,
way
maybe
to
two
fully
tries.
complete this challenge. And I
And
have
now I
one
only
on my
really
very
have enough
first
time
cleric.
for one
That is huge.
attempt.
It's a little bit more time working throughout the day, using a water bucket to allow the cartographer to
Getting
get
zapped
into that house.
shouldn't be
Really
that hard.
mojang. That is such a design flaw. Getting looting 3. So that's pointless. On day 29, someone finally claimed the blast furnace, and they immediately offered iron helmets and leggings. Now I was poor from the pearl trades, but this was a worthwhile investment. I have pants! We're once again safe for YouTube. I made myself a quick snack of bread, which would be just enough to get me to cross the ocean, if only it were that easy, sailing all the way back towards the desert village, depoting everything I had, and trading all the 6 to get myself back up to double-digit emeralds. And that's where I called it a day in real life, coming back the next morning. I also just took a break from recording VO. It's funny how everything kind of lines up like that. But I started the day and this recording session with focusing on the economy. You're going to see a lot of me climbing up, spiralizing up a spruce tree, and then twisting and turning and chopping it down. I can only make that look different so many times. While sticks is my primary economic source, I still want to make sure I get the villager leveled up. They can also earn me emeralds if they do melon trades. That will be extremely useful, but a max tier trade for them is golden carrots, which would be an amazing food source. I dumped a ton of emeralds into apple futures right before the market was about to crash, getting a melon trade, which was exactly what I was hoping for. So it's time to level up and increase melon production significantly. You'll notice that I don't have these set up right. I'll notice that in about 10 days. Going into day 31, I'm back out into the ocean to the north of my village, heading out in another direction trying to find dogs. I found a lot of deserts. Another desert village, more cats hunting more rabbits, a huge mesa biome in the distance. This is an amazing looking space. It makes me potentially want to revisit my desert 100 days. Maybe I'll make a new mod pack for that. Let me know if you want to see a remixed version. Okay, I know I can't use any of it, but I have to go look. I have to look. It's a present! That aren't super useful. How about over here? That should be a god apple. Oh, there's diamonds! Nope, can't use it. Can't use it. Look at me obeying my rules with my fishing rod and my rabbit flesh. Nope, can't use it. That's such a bummer. But in general, I'm really appreciating using rivers more. It's making me slightly more excited for rafts in 1.20. Nothing else, it's just a visually cool thing. But I eventually found my way into a forest, seeing some wolves in the distance, and I need them if I'm going to progress and beat this game. Thankfully, there was a village immediately nearby, so I was able to put the golem to work, taking out skeletons that I found, getting a bone, walking over to a wolf, and getting that new friend in one. And then it went horribly wrong. That was so much progress! Okay, I need to be able to heal. There are more wolves. There's a lot of zombies. You baby.
you, my friend. Don't mind what happened to the... No. Dang it. Okay, I gotta run. After that setback, I took the golem out of the core of the town, just leading him around from mob to mob to mob, getting only 2 bones throughout all of the night, so I'm gonna be sticking around here a little bit longer. In the morning, I was checking around in the village, and they had nothing to offer. Okay. 1, 2, 3... They're not Starbucks. How many churches do you need? So I sailed back up to where the wolves would spawn, and 2 bones was not enough this time around. I thought it was time to do another round of testing and try to cast a portal with just a single bucket. I know, not speedrunner. This isn't my vibe. Usually you can dig to be able to prevent some of those problems, and I can do that in this challenge. I was able to successfully get a portal casted, but then I was reminded that I don't have a flint and steel, so even if I had it, I wouldn't be able to light it. But it's good to know I can do it. I took the golem back up onto the plateau overlooking the village, with their help taking out spiders and skeletons and using creepers to get myself a whole bunch of dirt. At one point in time, the golem got fully overwhelmed and just eliminated by a skeleton sniper. I ran back to the village from there, slept, using the creepers to kill each other to get more dirt and a little bit of gunpowder, and thought, you know what, I'm just gonna kidnap a dog instead of driving to tame it first, throwing it into a boat and sailing all the way back through multiple different areas, getting lost at one point in time and needing to use a lead to get the wolf over just a small little hump of land. I did pass by a pillager tower, which is good to know where this one is. I don't really need to do a raid. I can't really even beat a raid with the no-kill part of the challenge, but it's good to know where I might need to get some stuff from here later. Using a combination of wolf on a lead and wolf in a boat, I was able to transport that thing all the way back to my home village. Oh, that took way too much effort. Okay. I need to get bones. I need to get bones. But the golem wasn't anywhere to be seen, and so I tried to get the wild wolf to help with the fight, and that was just a disaster. But it eventually did lead into day 34, where I found out where the golem was. They were stuck inside one of the area's stalls. Kind of bizarre looking things in the middle of town. So I used a little bit of dirt that I had and a lead on them, pillaring up to just yo-yo them up and out to allow them to be able to once again wander around the village, taking out the skeleton that was waiting in the water, and oh, I was afraid that they were gonna die there. Please? Please.